You know, sport coupe SUVs have been peppering the automotive landscape for the last few years. And you know, one of the very first original ones was from Infiniti with their FX series. Remember those? Maybe they were a little ahead of their time. Well, for 2022, this is the new Infiniti QX55, so Infiniti is back in the game. It's no surprise the QX55 is based on Infiniti's QX50 platform, but instead of just chopping off the back, there is some other differences to the QX55. Starting from the front, first of all 55s get standard LED headlamps. However, if you go into the middle or top trims, you get adaptive LED lamps as well. You get a different bottom front fascia, and I love the grille here. Check this out. I don't know how to describe it. I would just say it's kind of like liquid metal. It's just, there's so much texture in this grille here, and you just kind of stare at it. It kind of hypnotizes you. Also standard 20-inch wheels across the board. So that's one difference between the 55 and the 50, is when you go into the 55, you get kind of a lot more options as standard equipment, opposed to the QX50 where you'd have to actually go up higher trim levels to get the 20-inch wheels here. Now this also comes with the keyless proximity entry. So just grab on or press the button and it locks there. Now, one thing that it does not do though, it does not work for the rear doors, only for the front doors. So you're going to have to go and grab that front door first and then open up the rear door to unlock. It will not work with just the rear door. And that's quite unfortunate because a lot of new vehicles now have extended it to the rear doors, including even within the Nissan family, the new Rogue, you can just touch that rear door and it'll open. Okay, onto the back. This is the biggest difference, obviously, between the QX50 and the QX55. You have this sloped coupe-like silhouette now. They've kind of chopped off the back. It does give it a sportier appearance. It gives it a little bit more style. I think it looks quite cohesive. You have a nice black roof spoiler here, standard LED lamps. You get the big Infiniti across the back here. And now all Infiniti QX55s come with a power liftgate. However, if you go into the top trim, you do get the hands-free option. And I've used a lot of these systems over the years. Some work better than others. I have to say, this one is one of the best ones. It pretty well has worked 100% of the time. Some of the other ones, you're kind of like kicking over, you know, it doesn't work. But one other thing, if you don't have the hands-free or you don't want to use it, the trunk release is actually right in the Infiniti emblem right there. You just push that, up it comes. Here is the inside here. I don't have my large travel suitcase with me today. I do have this clever crate here just to give you an idea of the size, and my camera bag. There is one hook back here. Yay, a hook for your bags, so your grocery bags. You do have rear seat releases on either side. Now when you do fold those rear seats down, it does not go completely flat, and I found this out by testing it with the ultimate test. I went to Costco, I was looking for a barbecue, they had one left. And it just happened to be a 6-burner Napoleon barbecue. It's huge, it's almost 200 pounds, and I just had to get it. I was just crossing my fingers that it would fit in here, otherwise I'd have to kind of, I don't know, find someone else that had a bigger vehicle. So myself and the Costco employee, we were able to get it in, and not only could we fit it in, there was actually room to spare. I was also worried that it wouldn't go far enough forward that we'd be able to close the back. Because of the shape of it, you are sacrificing some of the height at the very back. So if you do need to move something as large as that box, it will do it as long as you don't have anyone in those rear seats. Now let's check out the inside. But first of all, one kick, down it comes. Seriously, it works every single time. In Canada, there are 3 trim levels to choose from. There is the Luxe, the Essential, and then the Sensory package. And all QX50s come pretty well equipped though. You do get a standard heated front seats, heated steering wheel, you get a power sliding sunroof. It's not a big panel roof though, but you do get some nice light in there. In the middle, you have a standard 7-inch screen on the bottom and an 8-inch screen on top. Also standard is wireless Apple CarPlay. There is Android Auto as well, but you do have to use a wire for that. There are 2 USBs up front. There's a USB Type A and a Type C. One thing I have to say about this system, this is the sensory trim. This is the top of the line one here. So not only do you have a backup camera, you have an around view monitor. And I've said this with some other Nissan products before, the camera resolution is really not very good. They're using an older system. It's not the same system that you'll find in the newer Nissan products like the new Rogue. They have a larger screen. The resolution's much better for those cameras. But on this one, I really find that it is very lacking. And it doesn't give you a lot of confidence when you really want to see what's around you. When you go up from the base model, you do get upgraded to a 16-speaker Bose audio system. This sensory version also gets full leather seats. You get open pore wood and a full head-up display as well. Now, moving on into the center here, one thing that I have noticed is this sliding cover for the front compartment here. It's a rubber kind of pleated type of material, and I find when it's closed I can see that it has quite a few scratches on it already. So most of the time though, when I'm driving cars that have this, they're usually left open anyways, and I just actually closed it just to see, and that's how I noticed it. But you do get a couple drink holders there. You do have a knob that actually controls the top screen, but the top screen is also touch screen, and I like the dedicated camera button, so you don't have to actually put it into reverse. Anytime you want to just see around, you just hit that camera button and it activates those cameras. This sensory trim also comes with ventilated front seats as well. One of the things missing in the interior of this QX55 though is there is no wireless charging. And that's not a big deal to me, but most new vehicles now, especially in this price range, do come with that. So this is where things might differ a little bit between the 55 and the QX50 is in the back and beyond because of that sloping roof. So we are sitting in the rear passenger seat here. The seat is set for where I would be sitting. I'm about 5'11", and there is ample knee room. However, one thing is that there is not a lot of foot room here. Now this seat is set as far low as it can go in the front because I do like to sit lower, but if that were the case, the person in the back does not have anywhere, like I can't put my foot underneath here. I can barely fit my toes here, but it depends who's sitting there. But shoulder room is decent. This trim does come with tri-zone climate control, so you have left and right for the front, and you do have your individual climate setting for the rear, as well as you also get some rear center vents. There is a moderate size hump in the middle for that middle passenger. If we pull this down, you do have a drink holder there. Headroom wise, got about that much if I'm sitting all the way back. Now these seats also can adjust. You can slide them forward or back for more legroom, or if you need more cargo room. Some of you that have been following the launch of this 55 know that it shares the same power plant as the QX50, and that is a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, but it's not any turbo, it's a VC, variable compression turbo. And when the QX50 came out with that engine, it's the first time ever in a production vehicle using this type of technology. So with this type of technology, it allows you to produce a lot more power, let's say with low compression, but you can go high compression for better fuel economy and better efficiency. It puts out 268 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. The one thing that some people are not fans of, and they've already expressed that in a few comments in my previous videos, is that this QX55 also uses a CVT like the QX50, a continuously variable transmission, meaning it's not a conventional automatic, but You know, when we were at the launch of the QX50, I was actually quite surprised of the performance of that CVT. It worked very well. It has different steps, so it emulates real, you know, traditional gears per se. There are paddle shifters behind here. If we actually go into the D mode or the drive mode and we actually put it into sport mode, like right now, it'll actually hold gears even depending on if we're doing a little more enthusiastic driving, or if we're going up a hill or down a hill, it'll hold the gears longer. And if we push it, there's very, very little lag. There's not a lot of that slingshot type of feeling. Now we're stopped at a light right now, so let's see what it's like from a standstill. This also does have an electronic parking brake and also auto hold. Push that and my foot is off. Here we go. Green light to the floor. It is minimal lag. So this engine itself has very little turbo lag, and what the CVT does, though, it does keep that turbo in the nice meaty section, so it's always raring to go. So if you do have the revs up, it does perform better than, of course, straight off the line, but for a CVT, it does work very, very well. We just went up a hill. It's very responsive. It's a great little engine, that's for sure. It is a little bit unfortunate though. You know, it's like this is a more stylish version of the QX55. I would say for people who are buying this, maybe they want something a little more special. So it would be nice to have a different engine option or a more performance-oriented version of this QX55, maybe like a red sport version like you can get on the Q60. Wouldn't that be great? Remember the old FX series? You know, some of those, they came with a V8 even. So maybe in the future, if this vehicle takes off and there's enough demand, maybe they can actually bring something like that. The QX55 does not come with adaptive suspension. However, the suspension, even though it's not a sports tuned suspension, is quite engaging to drive. It's not too stiff, which is a very nice thing on a luxury or premium vehicle like this. And the overall ride is very comfortable and quite quiet. You can hear how quiet the interior cabin is on this Infiniti. The QX55 comes with a host of standard safety features like forward collision warning with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert. And if you go into the Sensory model that we have here, then you actually get the Pro Pilot Assist, and that gives you additional things. First of all, you get the direct adaptive steering. We saw that first in the Q50, the sedan, where you're actually driving by wire, and it's kind of a different thing because even though you're not connected to it, it takes out some of the minor imperfections in the road, for instance. So it gives you a smoother drive, but it's actually more predictable. It's kind of odd. It works very well. And with that, you get the intelligent cruise control with the full range from at speed all the way to stop and go traffic. Whoa.
You almost bumped into that car.
I know. You see? The forward collision warning worked right there, you guys. There it is. It even happens to the best of us. Did you see that, Brooklyn? The QX55 starts at just under 51,000 Canadian dollars, by the way. And if you want to go for the top Sensory trim, like we have here, with all the bells and whistles and that Pro Pilot Assist, it's going to run you just under $61,000. And that pretty well is in line with a lot of vehicles in this class, in this premium compact class. So that's it for our quick look at the QX55. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And what else can they do?
Subscribe!
Subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next video. Ciao.
Meow.
Meow.
Wow, wow, wow.